Hi, and welcome to Using Video to Market and Sell Your Business. Selling is an important part of it. I'm Jess Todfeld. Welcome to the webinar. You know, the problem with webinars, and technically, well, not just technically, I am using video right now. But the problem is that you can't see the person who's talking to you, and there's many times a disconnect. But we're going to change that right now. Here I am. I'm Jess Todfeld. It's great to be here. So, I am going to go through a number of the ways that you can use video to enhance your business, to better sell it, and I will also talk about how I'm doing this right now, how I'm easily able to make a video webinar, one that's a little bit more like a TV show. You know, we have the PowerPoint. I should point this way. Okay, that's right. The PowerPoint, and it has some interesting, important points in there, but it gives me the opportunity to be able to look you in the eye and talk to you as well. I'm going to move myself over here. All right, why do we want to use video? Well, I like to think of some of our marketing techniques when I talk about this, and one of them is networking. Why do we network? We network because we want to go out there and we want to meet people. We know that face-to-face really holds a lot of weight. And if we can talk to somebody and really let them know what we're all about, what it is that we do, then they'll hopefully want to do business with us. Of course, we better follow up. That's important. But now looking at what you see on the screen here, if you go to one of these events, how many people do you really meet at the end of the night? You know, you may have a bunch of business cards. You may not remember all of them, but 3 or 4 people are the top quality, and you didn't get to meet everybody in that room. And that's a problem. And really, ultimately, anytime we're out there and we're doing some level of networking, we want to meet a large number of people, like what you see on the screen. Video gives us the opportunity to be able to do that. So now, a lot of people get scared when you say, well, how am I going to use video? And there's so many things I got to figure out with cameras and equipment and lights. I'm going to talk about all of that today, but I'm going to focus it in for you. So most people get worried and they think, oh, well, it's going to be like what you see on the screen here. It means I got to set up a super professional shoot and everything has to be great and top level like it's a TV show. No, you know, it's nice if you could do that. If you have access to that equipment, great, terrific. But I want to show you how to be able to do it on a budget. I want to show you how to do the do-it-yourself version. And then I want to give you some options, some lower cost options for being able to go out there and have somebody help and work with you. So you don't necessarily have to make it look like a TV show. A lot of people will pay a post-production, a video production company who comes in. Sometimes they're called corporate video companies. And they're great. I have friends who do that. But as you see on the screen here, they come with a super fancy deluxe camera, and it's on a rolling platform, and it's up in the air, and they write scripts, and they charge you $40,000, probably making you want to tune out right now and not take part in this. But I'm going to give you some great techniques that you can use. Now, another little thing that people think of is they say, okay, well, video, that means that I should go and make up a bunch of DVDs, and then if I do DVDs, I got to get the artwork done on the DVD boxes. I have to go and get the actual DVD covers set up. Oh, this is so much work, and then it just plain never happens. Here's my goal for you today. Just like Staples, I want you to hit that easy button. I want to make it as easy as possible for you. And I should give you a little background on exactly who I am. My name is Jess Todfeld, and I'm a former TV producer. I was a producer on the national level for 13 years at ABC, NBC, and Fox. Worked at a number of different places, and I had fun, but the thing I always loved the most was being in the green room, chatting with people before they went on, and I would say to them, so what are you going to say when you go out there? And they would start to tell me, and I'd say, stop, stop. You should lead with that. And they say, I should lead with that? Yeah, what else do you have? And I'd say, move this here, move that here, and do this, do that. and I had a political consultant who was watching me, and this is in probably about 1996, and he said, "Hey, you know what you're doing? You're media training them." And I said, "I am?" And it brought me to what I do now. So my core business, what I do is I am a media trainer. So I train people to speak to the media. Now, what I'm doing here today is I'm showing you many of the things that I've learned, that I've figured out along the way, that you can use to be able to use video in what you do. I do not run a video production company. I'm happy to recommend people who do, but I'm going to try to give you as many solutions as I can today. So, we want to make it easy. If you look over here on your screen, YouTube. YouTube started in, I guess, 2004, 2005. It was really starting to pick up traction. A lot of people didn't really discover it until 2007 or 8. And obviously everybody now, whether you've been on the site or not, you probably have, everybody knows about it. And you really should be leveraging the power of YouTube, because what's amazing here is you get to be your own TV channel. The power of the media is now in your lap. So, if you have that power, you know, in the old days, we'll take a step back. In the old days, meaning before 2005, if you wanted to make your own TV show, what you'd have to do is you would have to go down to your public access station and take a big course. You can still do this, by the way. They teach you how to use the equipment, and now that you've learned to use the equipment, you have to get all these other people together and try to make some sort of a TV show, and it's usually not for commercial reasons. So if you have a business that you're trying to promote and you want to make a commercial or something like that, good luck to you, because they don't want you to do it. But even after that, the funny thing is a lot of these places are known for having the worst, awful, terrible equipment, and the lighting is horrible, and you know, Saturday Night Live would not make fun, but they'd have some fun with it, with Wayne's World, which, by the way, was lit a heck of a lot nicer than the actual cable access, as they call it. YouTube. This is what you want to be doing. You want to be creating videos that you can put on YouTube, and then you can extract and embed onto a web page of your choice. And once you've done that, you can do whatever you like. Now, by the way, you don't have to extract it, but the nice thing is, if you do have a website, and if you have a business, I suspect you have a website, you don't really want people leaving and going to YouTube. So you can, and I'll show you when we go on YouTube in just a little bit, I'll show you where that embed code is so that you can put it over on your site. You have somebody who manages your site for you? Great. Tell them that you put the video on there and just provide a little link for them. But nowadays we're hitting a point where it's not just that you could put this on your site. People are watching it on their mobile phones, on their smartphones. And it's going to happen more and more. And if people can look at you, if they can, as I go to full screen mode, if they can see, touch, smell, feel what it is that you're talking about and what it is that you are selling. Maybe you're not selling something. Maybe you're giving them great information. You're educating them about what it is that you do, and then they realize you're an authority. But if you do all these things, people start to trust you more. Ideally, you're somebody who's trustworthy. But they trust what you're saying because they think that there's value in it. And if so, you've moved them a few steps closer to a sale. So we always want to keep that in mind, the sales part. So let's bring it back over here. And here is just a random web page that I pulled up on the internet. You know, I have no idea these folks, but I was looking for something that is not all that far from my home. Let's see, this is lower your energy bills, just basic energy related. Here, natural gas, heating, cooling, plumbing, all this stuff, just basic site, no video. It's okay, it might be performing well for them, but it could be better. Imagine if you went on the site and there was a little video that played where they explained what this company does exactly? Do we know? I read off what was on the side here. I don't really know what it is that they're up to and that they do. Now, they may have so much business that they don't care and they're not going to change anything. But the video would make it come alive. A human being would be telling what they're all about. Now, I also did a little Google search for a completely random home inspection company. And they set up a basic web page. They have some clip art over here. It's okay. Let's go, we'll scroll down and we'll click over here, and this is what's a little bit further down. They were featured in Newsday, I guess. That's not bad, but it just scrolls down and just keeps scrolling, and there's a lot of text on there. Now, I suspect somebody who does this type of business is really working on referrals anyway. But imagine if you went to their website, especially after getting a referral, and you saw that person standing in front of a house. And they said, "Hi, my name is Tom," their full name, I'm making up a name here, and use your own real name. "I'm Tom. I've been doing home inspections for 22 years. I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I know that I'm helping people because I find things that they need to know about. And I also provide reassurance when people really need it the most. People are nervous when they're buying a new house. They want to know that it's okay. So, I'm standing in front of a home right now that we were just inspecting. I just want to show you a couple of things that I look for. And I'll tell you, not all home inspectors look at these things. Come on, come along." And somebody's videotaping them. They're pointing. "Oh, how about this? Look at this. Did you notice this? This could be termite damage." Now, a lot of people would miss that. That would completely grab me. That would make me want to work with that person over text on a page, as you see over here on the screen. Just text on a page. It's okay. It can be much better. Here's another website with text on a page. Plumbing and heating company. Now, if I need a plumber and I don't know one and I go to a website and they're near me and water is spraying all over the floor, I guess I will just go with whatever I find. But again, if I tuned in, notice I said tuned in. The interaction that we're having more and more with our computers, as you are right now, is being able to connect with a real human being. So if I tuned in and I saw the pictures, but I saw a human being who said, "Listen, here's our basic philosophy. This is your home. You spend the most time there, ideally, in your life, second to work." It's probably the other way around. And we know how important it is for you to have something fixed and fixed right. And we come in like it's our own home. Notice I'm grabbing myself over here. This comes from the media training. This is something where I talk about passion and heart. You can communicate your passion for what it is that you do. Usually it brings extra energy and it makes it interesting. But people also want to work with other people who actually have a heart and want to take care of them. So, what is the solution? Video! Video will make your sites come alive. You want to use video. Okay, that's what that lens symbolizes. Notice so far, as you see over here, that I have been using, let's go back for a moment to the lens, that I have been using PowerPoint, but I have not really been overloading it with text. I haven't used any text. So here's the point on that. Not that text is terrible. One idea at a time, if you do use PowerPoint for getting a message across. If I'm just speaking to camera, if it was just me, and I turned on either my webcam, and I'm going to show you a number of other methods that you can use to grab video, then I would talk for probably no longer than 90 seconds. It will be longer for this. This is a webinar. I would make my main points, and there would be a call to action. I'd be asking you to do something. Now, let's jump back over here. Next up, YouTube. Now, here's a doctor who is providing value and real information. The Ask Their Doctor series, here he's talking about heart disease and heart health. Now, he records a whole bunch of videos that he puts on YouTube, but he extracts them and puts them on his website. Would you rather go to visit a doctor that has that, where you can actually hear that they have a good bedside manner, that they're going to take care of you, or if you do a normal Google search, would you rather see this? I would probably rather go with the first one. Nothing against the second doctor, and that was just whatever random listing site came up when I typed in a town and tried to put in doctor or cardiologist, one of those things. It wouldn't make me want to work with them. It's basically like looking in the yellow pages, and we're beyond that now. One of the things that I do is I have on my web pages, my Success in Media web page right now, a video where I explain what it is that I do, what happens in a training. Just like the home inspector, just like the plumber. Well, the doctor could also talk about what the experience is like, but he also provided real value. And I have those videos as well, and I will show you some of them so that you can see how you can do it and what you can learn from it. Which brings us to, what videos should you make? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the types of videos you should make, and then I'm going to talk about some of the equipment. So, what are some of the videos, the types of videos that you should make? You could do welcome videos. We just talked about that. Educational videos. Videos designed just for prospects. If you go to my webpage, successinmedia.com, and you see that video, I actually have two purposes for the video that's on the home page there. I use it as a greeting video, but I also use it as a little mini video proposal. So I say, thanks for finding out what we're all about and what we do. Here's what we do when we train people to speak to the media. By the way, is this media? Yes, this is internet media. They used to call it new media. It's not new anymore. It's internet media. People throw more around the phrase social media. Social media is when there is sharing involved. So if you have this link and like it, share it. Then it will become social media. And then more people know about me, and they'll think that you're somebody who provides great value, all of that. Videos for prospects. Great to explain all of the different things that you do. How about videos for clients? How about client videos where if you have somebody that you worked with and you want them to remember and know certain things during the year, sit down or stand up and record 5 videos, 5 short videos. And shortly I will explain how I use one of these tiny little video cameras that is just super small and great and easy to use, and somebody can hold it. Tripod is usually best. It has 1080p high definition video, that means the best, and I can upload it directly from here or off a little card that's inside right up onto YouTube and be busy and ready to go in a very short amount of time. It always comes back to the biggest limiting step. So here comes the biggest limiting step. You ready? Drum roll. The biggest limiting step is you. You are the biggest limiting step in this process. Not the cameras, not the lights, not the special microphones. I'll be talking about all of them. Don't worry. It's you. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news. But look, I've been there too. And I will sit down. I essentially could have just spoken to the camera, or I could have just spoken over a PowerPoint with text. That would have been easier. But I made a number of extra steps, and this took me a little bit longer, but the easiest way would have been if I just took this camera and I spoke and I explained a few things and maybe did it near a mirror. I could show you a few things if I wanted to be videotaping myself and I didn't have another person doing it. But we want to get you past that. So let's go into, well, let's go back to what videos you should make. So I was naming some of them. A few other ones. Frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions. How many frequently asked questions do you get when people talk to you, when prospects and clients talk to you? I bet you can come up with at least 10 of them. You now have content for 10 videos, and they would be great on your site. And I recommend doing them as separate videos and not one big long video, because people will not normally watch it unless it's called webinar or it's called The Tonight Show and you're watching it on Hulu or one of those sites. So you could do frequently asked questions. You can come up with video trailers for your business. You obviously can create DVDs and CDs. We saw it on there, or I had a little image on there just a little while ago. But I want to bring it in and focus it in for you. So I'm going to punch up here, or we have punched up, one of my YouTube channels. And this one is basically, if you go to youtube.com/JessTodfeld, good luck spelling my last name, it has just become a depository for me to place just random video, not random, but I have testimonial videos here. This was a media interview that I did, a bunch of other testimonials. This was a video that I did on a green screen. I'll talk a little bit about that. And I'm just showing the types of things that I place on here and the types of things I do. This was a radio interview where essentially I took the audio recording, married it to a basic graphic that was pretty easy to create. I just copied and pasted the images onto a Word document and typed in the Word document and did a screen grab of that and married it to a video using a video editing program. By the way, if you're saying, all right, Jess, it's already too much, don't worry. You only have to do what it is that you pick from what I'm talking about today. But I'm just giving you a sense of what it is that I have on my channel. So I have some big media interviews. Here's me on a cable news channel talking about Charlie Sheen. This one got about 5,600 views. These are instructional videos. Here's something that you might notice. Sometimes if you put a video on here, YouTube will choose the thumbnail. So that's not exactly a thumbnail that I'm in love with, and I could probably go in there now and change it, because they usually give you 3 choices. So let's see here, some more instructional videos. So I'll let you see some of these things. So I mean, these ones I put on a nice suit. I stood in front of a flat screen. I shot a whole bunch of them. It's actually part of a DVD series that I have on how to get media attention. Crash course on sales. Let you listen. What do you need to know? Well, one factor that motivates people, a huge factor that motivates people, emotion. I want you to look through your press release, and I want you to see what words related to emotion you have in there. Love, hurt, excruciating, anything. So that is just one of the clips. That's actually, those are promos that I made promoting some of the DVDs that I have where I show people how to get a good amount of publicity. I didn't mention in my little bio earlier, but I actually set a Guinness record for most interviews done in 24 hours, meaning they were on radio and people interviewed me from all around the country and internationally, and it was 112 interviews. They had to be, let's see, what was it, 5 minutes long or longer. I don't know why I have to think of that. It's because I'm trying to do a few things at once here and show you a few things. But I ended up turning it into a product and a service and was able to extend my business. But I try to practice what I preach. I made videos. There are DVDs and a whole part of the kit, but then I made little videos promoting it and then put it on a web page and tried to let people see samples of what it is that they'd be getting. Here is an example of some testimonial videos. This one has, let's pick one where it's just one person talking and not a group of people. Let's see.
I got my fingers together. I got my feet in front
That's
of me.
right. You got your feet just the runner's pose. All right, so
let's see.
You took the media training workshop.
I took the media training workshop, and a number of the participants here at the next event have been asking me, how was it, how was it, how was it? And my standard comment to them and to everybody else is it's probably the best $1,000 I've ever spent. So. Thank you, Jess. It was much appreciated. And I appreciate that you just keep giving and have given so much more than I was expecting.
You are
Now-
very sweet. And what's the biggest one skill or nugget?
I
or
don't
something
know
that you
why
learned?
it's playing a little bit small today, and it has to do with
Three things. What is that?
it has to do with me doing a webinar at the same time. I'm going to pause this. I am not playing these for you to be self-serving. I'm playing these for you because I want you to realize, wow, this is what it's like when you really hear from somebody who has received that service, who has gotten it and liked it, and you can hear the passion much better than a written testimonial. Written testimonial is still good. You should get it. But anytime somebody is excited about what it is that you do and what it is that you provide, you should reach to videotape them. And that means either one of these little cameras or your cell phone. Here is my iPhone. You can reach for it and say, gee, that is so sweet of you to, let's put it like this over here. Here we go. That is so sweet of you to say nice things about me and what it is I do. Would you mind if I just had you say that on video here? Would you be willing to do that? 99.99% of the time, people will say absolutely, and they're thrilled. And I got one of the best testimonials in my life because I was at a company. Another part of my business is public speaking, training, and speaker training, usually for business people. I'll turn it this way because this is the better way for video when you go and put it on the web, because this is, you know, all skinny and you'd have black bars on the side when you put it on YouTube, so you should actually turn it like this. But guy walks up to me and said, Jess, when you came here and you helped us revamp our speeches, you're not going to believe it. We changed, we made some of the changes, and we basically closed $1 million deal. And I was thinking, this has got to be the best testimonial I've ever had, ever. So I said, gee, would you be willing to, and I had, you know, the little camera in my pocket, would you be willing to say that on camera here? And he laughed, of course, sure, whatever. And I got him to stand there, and I got him to say what it was, and it sounded like a real person. It did not seem scripted, and it was probably one of the best testimonials and has gotten me a whole heck of a lot of business. So let's go back through some of these. I'll let you watch one more. I think this one used a video editing program to combine, obviously make some of these graphics and then just combine a few. So I'll let you just take a quick peek.
So what were your thoughts before the training, and then what actually happened during the training?
Prior to your seminar, there was a lot of fear of the unknown, just knowing no idea how to approach the media, what they wanted to hear from us, and basically just lacking confidence.
I've walked into television studios and I've done a little bit of interviewing in the past, had no idea. Nobody's there to guide you. So just getting that little bit of coaching, I think, was priceless.
What do I do when I actually get booked? When I'm on TV, when I'm on the radio?
What I thought prior was, oh my God,
Okay, so you get the basic idea. And a great way to collect testimonials. Let's see what else I want to just show you on here. Obviously, if you do a media interview and you can have a media interview open on your website, I'm going to show you something that I saw. I shrunk it down on my computer here. And I basically, yes, I am still here. Let's open it up here. I saw this on, let's go back to the beginning, just random web page that I opened up earlier today, one of these funky bidding sites. And what just starts running? A media interview. And it's instant credibility for them.
It's a new auction in town, and it only takes a penny to get in on the action.
Dorothy Tucker takes a look at penny auctions, which can be a bargain bonanza.
Channel 2 News.
$400 golf club for about $6.50.
No coupons, no rebates.
So you're watching that. How much more powerful is that over just text on a page, or even you saying, please, I'm telling you, this is wonderful, go buy it, if you could have a media interview. So I'm giving you a few senses of what people are doing with video. And here's something else. I'm going to shrink this back down again. Let's go to one of my other accounts here, and essentially, as long as you have extra email addresses, you can create other YouTube channels, as they call them. They're channels. And let's see here, Video Manager, so I can go through the videos. Let's see what we have here. I'm looking for some basic instructional videos. Well, actually, I'll show you on here. What I do, and I'm going to mute myself out over there and just talk over it. What I did here was I stood in front of a green screen. So this is a fake TV studio. Well, it's a real TV studio, but I made it look even better. And I spoke to the camera, and this happened to be for a group of dentists who wanted to learn how to become media masters. And I recorded a number of instructional videos. And anybody who works with me gets included as a way for me to make my service even better. They get one of these YouTube-style videos in an email. So again, I'm not telling you this to pat myself on the back. I'm telling you because you may want to do this. They get a video email, or it's an email with basically an image in it. When you click it, it just goes to one of these pages. And they get a lesson once a week, every week for 52 weeks. So I sat there and I recorded 52 videos, and it took me, I did it over 2 days, basically. I did one day, and a few months later I did another day. So you see here, this one is, you know, a little bit more highly produced, but I was not always that way. And let's see here, I'm going to show you some other things that I have here as well that you might find interesting. This is actually for a group that I did. This is a background that I have. This is an actual background, not a green screen. And sometimes I videotape people who have gotten a package where they just want to have a series of videos and it's nicely lit. And I do that usually in conjunction with, let's load a few more videos, with a video production house, usually at a very reasonable rate. And I'm just trying to get a few more on here. Usually around $1,000 or $1,500, you can get a fairly large package of videos, even $500, but that's usually just for a couple of videos. And my recommendation is for you to, I just want to show you a specific person, is for you to, if you're gonna get dressed up, if you're gonna put on a little TV makeup, you want to shoot a bunch of videos and have somebody coach you through it. Let's unmute the video here for a second and let's watch this author. And you can see how this author is talking about his book.
Talk to college football programs and basketball programs. The guys that have a chance of going to the NBA, they need to know.
All right, well, I'm not sure if you were able to hear that so well because I wasn't planning on punching that particular one up, but you basically get the idea. He's just standing here, speaking to the camera, talking about his book and making it interesting. All right, so let's jump in and let me shrink this down. Let's jump back to what it is that you should do. We want to get past that limiting factor, which is you, and I want to give you as much information as I can right now, including equipment. What equipment do you need? All right, now, as you see on the screen there are green screens, and this person is using something called a fancy Steadicam. I'm going to tell you in a second you don't need all this stuff. It's nice and it's easy. Maybe it's a guy thing, I don't know, to get wrapped up in I need this and I need that, I need all this equipment, but you don't. Here's some fancy movie equipment and, you know, oh, that little clapper. I like the clapper. I don't know why I need it, but I need it. This looks like a 1930s movie set. Certainly light is important. Light is very important. Now, I decided to shoot this in my home office today. And my home office is not very well lit. And I'm going to show you in just a moment what, well, I have it on a little video so I don't have to turn the camera. But I have basically a set of two 500-watt painter lights. And it was $20. It was lights up the entire room, and I think it looked pretty good on here right now. Let's hope that it looks like that on the other side. Fancy video cameras. Now this video camera is about $2,000 or $3,000. You do not need to have that. Here's what you do need. I prefer, this is the little video camera that I was just holding up a moment ago. It is called the Kodak ZI-8. It is discontinued. What, Jess, why would you tell us about a camera that's discontinued? You can still get some on Amazon. I highly recommend it. Getting over a little cold here today, but I'm doing the webinar anyway. I still highly recommend it. You'll see on there it says $150. Another one, some of them are used, $168. Believe me, because this is so easy, it'll be the best $150 that you spent, even if you don't get a million and one videos out of it. Here's why this is good. Okay, this camera shoots in a format that most don't shoot in. Basically, you record into here, and it shoots, well, I guess you record it into here, and it shoots in 1080p high definition video. Turn it on, see if I can turn it on here. 1080p high definition video. Of course, it doesn't look as good when I just hold it in front of the webcam. And you make your little video, and as soon as you're done with it, you either, just like those little flip cameras, which also are discontinued. You know why all these are discontinued? A lot of these companies are realizing that we can just make these videos on our phone, but our phone is missing one very important thing. A microphone jack. You know what? Let me make this full screen for you here so you can see exactly what it is that I'm doing. A microphone jack. A microphone jack is very, very important. Why? Because you should have good audio. Here's what you actually need. I'm going to go through the equipment and tell you the basic equipment that you can use. You can have okay video. And actually the video that I'm recording right now is okay. It's not full high definition. It's good enough for the web. And the file size is a little bit tighter and a little bit smaller. When I shoot with this thing, which a lot of my instructional videos, almost all of them have been shot with this, it's in full 1080p high definition video. Sometimes I shoot it in a slightly smaller 720p, smaller format, which just means the file size will be not as big. But you can take this, plug it right into your computer, and you can go right up onto YouTube. That's a feature that you want. I mentioned, by the way, this little microphone jack. You can have so-so video, but you have to have great audio. If people can't hear you, they will not pay attention and they will tune away. They need to hear what you're saying, and people are willing to put up with some choppy video. And because this video is getting long right now, I am wondering if this video is getting a little choppy, but we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so you can either, with this one, it has a memory card that is not on that side. Let's see here, it's on this side. And just one of those basic SD cards are in here. And I could put it right into my computer, and that's great. This one is about 8 gigabytes. They charge, I don't know, $7 for these now, for these cards. It used to be much more. And usually you have to get some sort of a cord for it. But you plug this into your computer, you can go right onto YouTube. So as long as you kind of start the video, talk, do your thing, and somebody pushes stop, you have a video that you don't need to edit. And that is the way I did it. I did at least the first 50 of my instructional videos. Let's put it back here in double mode. So I highly recommend this, but mainly because of the microphone jack. So important. Now you're saying, Jess, you brought up the iPhone before. You brought up whatever smartphone has a video camera in it. You don't have to have the Apple version here. If you're using that which does not have a microphone jack, you have to make sure that you're in a nice room that is quiet and isn't too echoey, and do your best. You may be somewhere and it's loud and somebody gives you a testimonial and you hope for the best. but and certainly a testimonial on video with sound that is slightly echoey is still better than no video testimonial. So I love the Kodak ZI-8. They have replaced it with some other cameras. I do not know if those cameras have a microphone jack, but I did some Google searching for all of you, and a nice alternative is the Creative Labs Vado, I don't know how you pronounce it, V-A-D-O, 720p pocket video camera. You'll see there, it comes with 8 gigabytes of storage loaded into it. This has old motto. Notice it's about the same price, or it is the same price, has a lot of the same features, and a lot of people on the internet were saying that this thing was really good as well. And from what I can tell, from looking in this picture right now, it has a microphone in jack, and you can verify before you go and buy one of these things. Now, do you need to have a video camera to be able to do this? No. Well, you need to have some video recording device. You can use your webcam like I'm doing, and that's not the worst thing in the world. I actually have the computer propped up a little bit higher today, so I'm not doing this thing. I'm not looking down, hi everybody. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous looking. I wanted it to be a little bit more on my eye line. I am using my hands, which is normally a very good thing to do. Although one thing I'm trying to be conscious of is, and by the way, that's the way we normally talk, but when you're using a webcam, you're so close to the camera that if I say, you should try this thing, you should try it, it can look a little strange. So I'm doing my best to tailor some of that for all of you right now, but we all speak with our hands, and I'm doing it, and I always do it. You could use that. There is probably a video recording device on your digital still camera. If you have a digital still camera, there are a lot of great recording devices out there. So that's step one, a camera. Can you go out and get a fancier camera? You absolutely can get a fancier camera. I happen to have the Canon Vixia HF-R20. And let's see here. I think I actually have more than one version of this, and I'm wondering as I look at it if it's exactly the R20, but so let's not go with R20, but the Canon Vixia line of cameras. And it's very easy. If you look in the description, it'll tell you which ones have a microphone jack, very important. And a lot of times they'll say if you can upload to somewhere else. But if you decide to get fancier with it, it comes with this cord. And this cord, this just says Canon, so I don't lose this, but that's a USB cord. And this will plug into the camera. And if you have a computer that has video editing software, you can get fancier with it. But, you know, my big suggestion to you is not to go fancy in the beginning and really go with one of those little video cameras that can get the job done. It can be clean, and you can get it up and to where you need, and you can always go down the line and make it fancier if you want to. Audio. I have the basic, let's see, $17 Audio-Technica ATR 3350 lavalier. That means a little clip-on mic that goes on your lapel. And sometimes when I videotape somebody, and certainly myself in the instructional videos, I clipped on the mic. I did my best to hide the wire, and it does the job. One thing I would have liked to have done differently, and I will probably rebuy, if you look here, this has one little black line on the little mic jack, and that means it's mono. And the way it records is it records on one channel only, the left or the right channel. And because I plug the video now into my computer and enhance it, I can just copy it over and have it play on both, so it hasn't been the end of the world. But if you're looking for these, if you put it right on YouTube, no one will ever know the difference, but you can always do a search, and you can get a different Audio-Technica that plays in stereo as well. But I've been very happy with this, and I recorded all of my instructional videos with this particular piece of equipment. Lighting. All right, what can I tell you about lighting? I went out and I bought, and by went out I mean I went to Amazon.com, and I bought a set of 3 lights. These are called softbox lights. Ooh, fancy. And it just means that it has, inside each one of these 3, it has 4 of those curly little fluorescent lights, and I think each one each of the 4 equals about 500 watts. I can't remember if it's 500 or, oh well, I should just look right here. 3,000 watts all total. Okay, so it's 3,000 watts between all of these 3. And I'll say it was plenty. 3,000 watts, perfect. And it has different settings, highs and lows and all of that. But essentially, I set these things up, and this is a diffuser. And you set a few of these things up, you have perfect lighting. You don't even have to go crazy. You put a few of these around the room, and just soft light is everywhere, and it's wonderful. They obviously have fancier ones, like this one that comes with a green screen and a whole thing to hold the screen and all that stuff. If you have a basement. Look, I'm doing a video production right here in my home office, and I'm going to show you a green screen production that I did actually in this room not too long ago. So while I have an office in New York City, sometimes I like to come home, do a little something here, and there's no reason not to. What you'll see here is this is a $60 version of lights. But what I show you in this next video, and let me cue it up here, is that you don't really have to spend on the fancy lights, and I really did not do it for a while. I did not spend on the fancy lights. So, wow, that's a close-up, isn't it? Here I am talking about how I did green screen. So this is for the people who want to take it to that next step and do some green screen, and you'll hear what I have to say. Let's take a look and listen. So the question is, can you make great green screen videos from your So the question is, can you make great green screen videos from your home? This is Jess Todfeld. Well, here's what I have, a $20 painting light, and I am set up here in our spare bedroom at home just to show how this can be done. Here is a $40 light for the top of a camera. Here is a clip light that let's move that out of the way.
You can get for $12. That happened to be the light that was in this.
This is what happens when you decide to do something impromptu. Here we go. Hold on. I'll back it up ever so slightly for you.
In this particular room is a clip light that you can get for $12. That happened to be the light that was in this particular room. Over here, up against this wall, is the green screen, and I have it just tacked up with 2 tacks.
It's a sheet.
Actually a closet with some sliding doors. You can see some of the kids' toys in there. And then at the bottom, I have a clamp here, and then I have a clamp there. And I put this up, and it's very, very helpful to be able to use the Mac. I just switched over to the Mac because I have always had trouble with the PC. If you have been able to do with the PC, wonderful. I'm thrilled for you. For whatever reason, I never had the processing power to get videos to look right and come together the right way. But iMovie, you plop it into iMovie and use their green screen feature, and you can be able to make these come alive. You may see that I have this little mic over here, and it comes together. Before you know it, you have a great green screen video.
All right, so what you see there, actually I'm glad it ended where it did. This is the bottom of just that basic painter's light. Let's see if I can go back and show it to you on here, which I got at Sears type of a place for about $20, like I said, and it did the basic job. Let's see, this is around the right spot. A little clip-on light. I guess I'm not showing it quite so well in that spot. There's the light from the room. You know, in the early days, I grabbed as many lights as I could. There we go. So you basically see this is a 500 watt light, another 500 little halogen that you can buy at the hardware store for a short amount. You might also see here, as my productions become a little bit fancier, that you have the video camera here, and here I am with the green screen, and here's taped underneath bullet points of what it is that I wanted to say. So you can put bullet points in front of you, and it will give you a roadmap of what it is that you want to say and where it is that you want to go. Okay, so we're back to talking about the equipment. That's all you basically need. I'll put myself back up on the screen. Hi. That's basically all you need. You need a basic camera that does the job, that you can get it up onto an online site. What sites should you use? The nice thing about YouTube is it's easy, very easy. You can go on there and you can set up a channel. You can, I'm going to punch it back up again. You can set up a channel and you can just plug these videos in, and
so here's the
it usually works with, I'll pause it over here. It usually works with your Google account. You could put in many videos. I said I would show you about the embed code. If you go to share, it gives you either a code, this is just a URL, just a link that you can give to people, or you can get this embed code and give it to your web person, or if you know how to do it, you put this code onto a web page, and this video up top will be on that page without anybody realizing, anything else, just like those other things that I showed you. So, important. I know we have people who are listening right now at various levels of skill, and some of you may say, I already know how to set up a YouTube page. I already know how to embed video. I want to make sure that I am speaking to everybody who is watching. There's another site called Vimeo. This is, I guess, if you are not signed in, this is the page that it sends you to. But that video that we saw at the little bidding site, they're also a nice place, and they have, I think it's $60 for the year, and they have a pretty interesting setup where you can customize a lot more, and probably a little bit more to YouTube. And of course, there's plenty more other places. Now, you may want to look your best when you're going and doing one of these videos. Now, I sat down, believe it or not, I'm not made up right now. I know it's hard to believe. The sexiest man alive did actually elude me this year, but anyway, I digress. Makeup is a good thing. Certainly women, and many women know the magic of makeup and why it's so wonderful. But for us guys who say, I'm alright, probably don't really need it. Here's what I've figured out. When you do a lot of these videos, especially when you turn on the lights, like I have all these lights at me, it may wash you out. Or you may get dark circles under your eyes. Ooh, we don't want that. That means you look like you're tired out. I shaved, no joke, I shaved about a half an hour before doing this video, and you can already see it looks like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. That's not good. It may look like I'm tired out. Here is the fix. You bring someone to the local drugstore who knows more about makeup than you. And I'm speaking to probably most of the men, but some women as well. And you want to get some basic foundation that just matches your skin tone, whatever your skin tone is. And a pad, a little sponge to be able to put it on there. I happen to like this Maybelline Dream Mousse on here. I'm a Maybelline man, that's right. And I'm just going to show you what this looks like and why it's different. Because if I don't show you, everybody will say, nice, Jess, and then never wear makeup. But I want you to look at the 5 o'clock shadow. And notice, I'm not trying to make myself look different. I am just trying to look my best. I'm going to put a little bit more, let's get a little bit more on here. I'm going to drop it all over the computer. What do you think of that? 5 o'clock shadow starting to go away. And I could, spend more time with this, put it under my eyes. Dark circles start to go away. My wife saw me do this in front of a group one time, and she said, wow, you should wear makeup all the time. Can you believe that? What I have to put up with over here? So doing this will really get rid of some of the shininess that you have. It'll make you look 1,000 times better. dark circles. Actually, I'm getting a little shadowing from one of the lights that I really, for this particular video right now that I'm doing for you, I really didn't go crazy with the lights because I wanted it to be like a real situation. And I just got makeup all over the computer. I guess I'll fix that later. Okay, that's my 2 cents on makeup. You know, makeup, a lot of the professional makeup artists will say, you know that makeup was done correctly on TV when you don't know that it's there. And actually for media training I say the exact same thing. You know the techniques were provided, or excuse me, used correctly when you don't know they're there. So I'm going to give you a few techniques. And when you see a politician and somebody says, oh, they're media trained and they know what they're doing, if you can tell, if they're doing something that seems contrived, they're doing it wrong. It was applied incorrectly, just like makeup, like you see on there. Okay, so moving on. One of the things that you want to do with these videos, you want to, once you record them, you want to figure out how can you use them in as many ways as possible. So if you're on the social network sites, and you should be, you can put videos there. One change that is happening within the last year on these social network sites are visual media is taking off. This one is called Pinterest, and people will pin all these little visuals, but you can use videos as well, and a lot of people don't know that. And any image that you put on there will link back to you. This is a phenomenon that's happening on Facebook, on Yahoo. Gee, is it surprising that we like images over just text? Why do you think I'm using images today on my PowerPoint that's playing next to me? And why do you think I'm trying to make it so that you can see me? Because that's what we prefer. We do prefer that. And we're more connected with people when we see that type of stuff. That is basically, those cover a lot of the important things that I wanted to bring up. I'm going to bring up a few extra ways that you can use video, as I put on my little notes to the side here. But I mentioned frequently asked questions, so you can do that type of video. How about, in addition to 10 frequently asked question videos, what if you did 10 should have asked questions? These are things people should have asked or should be asking, and they don't usually ask you, and you're usually forced to be able to tell them. But now you can make them into a series of 10 videos, put that on your website, mixed in with the frequently asked questions. How about a webinar like you're seeing right now? I'm going to show you just how I did this. I promised I would. Just how I made this webinar today. So there's a thing called, let me see if I can punch it up here, Livestream, okay? And it's free. You go to livestream.com and it'll put the new in there. I guess they redid their website. And they will give you a free program. And the program is called the, let's see here. What is it called? It should say it on here. The Livestream Podcaster, I think it's called. Wait, let me take a quick little look. Livestream Procaster, that's what it's called. Okay. And this is exactly what I'm using right now. So I can either have myself full screen. They give you a bunch of little controls. It's amazing. And by the way, I recorded this right to by default, right to my computer. So I'm not even doing it through the whole live stream system. They give you a little program, and you can either stream through their service and do webinars or broadcasts to people and all sorts of stuff. Check it out. You'll see. Or what I'm doing, which is I'm letting it record straight to my computer's hard drive, the desktop, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube and distribute it to you. But they give me a bunch of little controls down below. So I can go to camera mode. I can go to just screen mode. I can go to what they call 2D mix, or I can go to 3D view and bend the image back. I thought that what you're seeing up on the screen is a little bit more important. So there's something called Livestream, and they give you the Procaster tool for free, so I highly recommend it, and you should go get it and use it to be able to make a webinar or some sort of a broadcast. Here's something else. Videos of speeches you may give. Maybe you were asked to give a conversation or give a little speech to local Chamber of Commerce. Have somebody videotape it with one of these little cameras. Make sure you have decent audio. So for that, you may need to get one of those wireless mics. Test it beforehand. I've made this mistake. I've gotten some wireless mic and just hooked it up and just did my thing and said, I need to focus on my speech. And then it turns out that the distance that I was at was too far and it was all fuzzy and it was worth nothing. So test any of these things out when you get them. How about videos of lessons that you might give? And that's like that doctor that we saw a little bit earlier. You could make DVDs. By the way, how did I make the DVDs that I have and I sell that's part of my publicity program? I actually paid somebody, and I paid somebody who was a college student who was an intern of mine, but I paid him to do this, and he did a fantastic job. He knew exactly how to put it in the computer and make it look fancy and put the lower third graphics, meaning those graphics that are in the lower third of your screen, and put all sorts of video opens, and it was really amazing, and I got a better deal than a lot of these big production companies that are out there. So that's a great thing that you can try. Online training. How about online training? You can do a video web series, and there are ways, once you put it on YouTube or Vimeo, some of these other locations, and you can password protect it. You can put it on hidden areas of your site. You can do it where you actually sell training. So there's a training video, and maybe they get a whole series, or maybe they get access. If you are really going to do this the right way, you may want to use what they call member sites, membership sites. So you can, and that's a program where it'll create a password and doorway and all that. So you can look into that if you love that method. Okay. How about a 30-second ad or a highlight reel? By the way, this is, I'm going to tell you a website where everybody's raving about it. So I'm going to punch it up here. And it's called Fiverr.com. Fiverr. People will do things for you. I'll punch it up full screen. Okay, that's me. People will do it. Do things for you for $5. You see here, I will mix and master your song for $5. I'll draw cartoon characters for you. There are people who are probably willing to do some sort of video editing for you on here. Let's see, I haven't punched this in. And usually if it's here, it may say $5, but it's $5 per, 5 minutes of video or something along those lines, and we'll see if that's what they put on here. Well, that's kind of interesting. Wow. So this person is saying they'll take some of your videos and do some sort of editing. So you could take one of these videos that you shot.
Hello there, and thank you for visiting my website. To download your free weight loss plan, simply
that you shot with some sort of background and provide it to them, and they'll put the little lower third graphic or some sort of transition or make it pretty in some way, and you can share it through. I'm giving a lot of places to go now and towards the end of our webinar, through something called Dropbox.com, which is basically a folder. These are my folders that I share with somebody. So I share this one with Alyssa, and I'm going to show you one that actually has some things in it. Let's see what we have here. And I just plop this in. It's very easy. You upload some of the videos in here, and it shows up on both sides, and we both have access to it. It's amazing. Great way to share huge files. This Fiverr site is a great way to find freelancers. Elance.com is also another place where you can find freelancers to do all sorts of things for you, and it's a reverse bidding site. So any of these steps, the limiting steps that we talked about before, where you think that you may not be able to do something, there's usually somebody who will do something for you and help you out and make you look amazing. By the way, we saw that woman, let's see if I can punch it up here, but we saw that woman on the video, and she was in front of a white background. Here we go. Here's my suggestion. Here's what I did in a lot of my early videos. I found a background that looked great and just did it there. So, what are some backdrops I used? I have used outside scenes where I'm standing in a park and it's just a beautiful sight. I have, let's see here, presentation, training solution. That's one of my sites. This is me standing here in front of one of my training locations. So there's the lectern here. It looks very pretty. This is just a big curtain, and I talk and I do my thing.
Hi, I'm
and
Jess Todd.
I'm
Thank
Jess.
you for clicking through and
You get the
pressing
idea.
play
I'm going to
and
mute myself there. And somebody was holding the camera. Some people like the shaky MTV-ish style. Some people have told me no, they don't like it. But I've been able to create some very nice videos. I didn't have to come up with some special backdrop. As long as it was lit nicely. Notice here I'm wearing a lapel mic, that $17 mic, and it looked great. Notice I am using my hands. So here's a couple of quick media training techniques. Use your body language. That's what people look like when they are being natural. It's a good thing to do. All right? You should use the highs and lows of your voice. Pause. Pausing will give a little bit more drama and focus people on what it is you want them to pay attention to. Practice. Do it and then do it again and do it again, because the first few times you do it, you'll be saying and ah the entire time. So those are a few steps, a few things that you can do with these videos. And let's see here. Last couple of things that I want to tell you as I have my little notes here. I said a 30-second ad or a highlight reel. How about search engine optimization? That means when you put these videos on YouTube, you want to put in as many keywords in the description. And here's the reason. People may go to Google and they're typing in something for a service. They want to have a service like yours or whatever it is that you do, product like yours. And Google will see a handful of videos. Maybe one of those videos is yours. So what you may want to do is record a number of videos that really play into the keywords, that have the exact title, and you talking about whatever it is. If I'm located in New York City, my home is on Long Island, but my business is located in New York City, I might say New York City media training, and I may bring that up verbally as well, which, by the way, Google has a special thing. Google owns YouTube, where they're also searching the audio. They know how to take the audio and transcribe it, and so they look at that as well as the keywords you provided. And here's something else very important. Make sure that you put your link to your website in the description. That's also very important to help the search engines be able to find you. Last few things. There is something called Traffic Geyser. All right, I'm going to punch this thing up here. Here's somebody who, before I tell you about the Traffic Geyser, I'll show you this thing that I saw where, let's mute this out. I've seen a lot of these things where people write up a whole script and they speak it. Here.
I've got this exact script from each marker on screen, exactly like a traditional video sales letter.
They do these video sales letters and they're speaking for half an hour and you just see all the same text. Why do I need to read it and look and not look at the person? You know, I should bring up, some of you may be saying, but Jess, what if I don't feel like I'm good looking enough? Chances are you look like a normal human being. You probably don't look like a model and you look like everybody else who's one of your customers. That's a good thing. So maybe you don't shoot it extra tight like I'm leaning in right now. Maybe you shoot it a little bit further back. Maybe you speak and it's more about what it is that we're looking at, like the PowerPoint. You can use this program and just put the PowerPoint up there and just speak over it the entire time. I would rather do that and see images like the image that we just saw over here than just see somebody read to me and read text. Okay, I promised you that I would punch up something else here that people are doing. Let's see. You know what? want to keep this thing moving. And I said, oh, traffic geyser. Okay. I want to make sure that I give you what I promise here. So let's type in traffic geyser. This is something that costs about $1,000 or $2,500 for the year. And let's move this guy out. Good guy. I've heard pros and cons on this, but basically you take a video and you upload it to his site, and they will spread it out and send it to YouTube and 20 other sites just like YouTube. And then they will take it and strip out the audio and put it on audio sites. And then you can put in text, and they'll put the text up onto blogging sites and some of the article marketing sites. Many of the too many to mention possibilities for your marketing. But if this is something you're interested in, I at least wanted to bring up the fact that it exists. I used it briefly. I probably didn't wasted my money because I didn't use it to the level that they explain that you should, but isn't that just the way it is sometimes in life? So, I'm just being honest. That's what happened. So, I've given you all the great things. Here is a last great way that you could be using your videos, and that would be media interviews. You saw that I was on some of the top stations on there. I said I set a Guinness record. I want to show you right now how you can get some media attention. So this is a bonus, okay? So the bonus starts right now. I hope that you got a lot of the great information about what cameras to use, about the lights, about the microphone, a little bit about the makeup, about what you should worry about and shouldn't worry about. Don't worry about, I need the fanciest things. You take a basic camera, or your phone usually can get something great and just get it right up onto YouTube and direct people there or to your site. But